Okay, so getting back into our coverage over Ultimate Spider-Man, we do pick up with issue number 18. Now, here's the thing, because this right here is like the war has officially begun, because it's now Spider-Man and his crew getting ready to go up against Kingpin and his Sinister Six. Like everything's on deck at the moment for both parties. And really, for Spider-Man's side, they technically are in the move because you had Mysterio and also Green Goblin attack one of the facilities that belonged to Mr. Negative, one of the members of the Sinister Six. But now it's time for Kingpin to make his move. Now, as we go through today's video, I'll re-explain a few things so that you'll be ready for the future books to come out down the road, because the rumor is that all the different Ultimate books are going to end at issue number 24, which honestly, I don't believe. But hey, it could be the truth there. And so as we get into the opening pages for Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 18, we're really picking up with Peter Parker meeting Harry Osborn again for the first time in a few months. Because remember, in an earlier issue, we were kind of left to believe that Harry Osborn was killed off by Kraven. Now, here's the thing, because we learn later on that he actually survived because of Mysterio. But we also learned that Mysterio was Gwen Stacy. Now, there's a tad bit more of information with that, but let's save that for later on. But for right now, for Peter, he hadn't seen Harry in a long time, but Harry did not come alone. Harry brought Uncle Ben and also J. Jonah Jameson. And so for JJ, Uncle Ben, they're going to stay with Mary Jane and the kids in Utah while you have Peter and Harry head back over to New York to begin the war against Kingpin and the Sinister Six. Now, as we do switch over to the Mysterio court, we do get reminded of who are the different members who basically make up the Mysterio in this reality. So in the earlier issue, we had discovered that the reason why Harry Osborn had survived because one of the Mysterios was Gwen Stacy. Now, the last couple of issues, we also learn who's part of the court with her that basically makes up the whole Mysterio crew. So, for example, we have learned that Joe Robertson, who works at the Daily Bugle, is one of the members of this group. You also have James Wesley, who is, of course, the right-hand man for the Kingpin. You also have Quentin Beck, which, of course, makes a lot of sense. But while you have those few members right there discussing the moves that Gwen had made, which of course is the all-out war against the Kingpin, we also learned that Vanessa Fisk is also one of the members of this court as well. Now, we have not learned what her actual role in the overall storyline for Ultimate Spider-Man, but this is pretty huge. But you do have her kind of agree with Gwen, like, hey, what Gwen did was correct. We always just sit here and talk and talk and talk. And the thing is, we don't get anywhere. And so what Gwen did, she began the process of pushing us in a brand new direction, allowing us to do something new and possibly better for us. And so, of course, she's like, Gwen, good job. Now let's go to war. But now we have to switch back over to Peter and also Harry Osborn. Now, these two characters, they arrive in New York. It's Green Goblin and Spider-Man working together again. The dynamic duo in this city of New York in this reality. Anyways, though, when they do arrive, it's kind of cool because for Peter, he has been Spider-Man over in Utah because we saw Ultimate Sandman. But now it's him being back in New York and having the ability to be Spider-Man here again. And so, of course, you do have him and Green Goblin go fight a few different characters like Shocker, Hammerhead, and Vermin. And I'm kind of sad we didn't get an actual Vermin story, or at least a Hammerhead story, but it's kind of cool to see these characters in this reality. Also, they do go after Shocker as well. But once you do have our two heroes handle those villains right there, for Peter, he wants to go back to his old home. And so, of course, they do. But Harry forgot to tell Peter about something very important. That when it came to Harry Osborn, he remembered how worried Peter was about his family. And so what Harry did was he told Doc Ock, like, hey, listen, I need you to basically build a security system for the home of the Parkers. Just in case something does happen to Peter, at least his family will be protected for a tad bit longer. And so, of course, when Peter and Harry go home to Peter's house, they see Peter's house a complete wreck. And the reason why, because for Doc Ock, he basically got trapped in one of his traps that he had created for Peter and his family. And so you do have Harry explain, like, the reason why I did this, because I remember when you and I were kidnapped by Craven, you were so worried about your family. I wanted to make sure that your family will be protected no matter what. And so I told Doc Ock here to go ahead and build all these different types of security systems to basically protect your family. Now, at first, Peter is a tad bit upset, but then he realized what Harry did is not wrong. Like, what Harry did is the right thing, because what if something happens to me? That leaves my family defenseless against my enemies like Kingpin, or even like, Mr. Negative, and the list goes on. And so now we switch back over to Mary Jane, May, Uncle Ben, and also JJ, because this is where you basically have the Kingpin make his move, right? It all begins with the family of Peter Parker, but none of the characters I had just mentioned. Matter of fact, the person who basically helps Kingpin to make that move is no other than Richard Parker. You see, for Richard, he has his own Spider-Man suit. It was the AI suit that Peter got at the very beginning of this run. But now it's Richard using that suit and being his own Spider-Man. And so for Richard right now, let's not forget that he has been taxing Black Cat for a good period of time, because in this reality, Felicia is only like 16 years old, so around his age. So you have the two characters being able to build a bond with one another. And that right there is the main problem, because while you had Richard waiting for everyone to come back, he was texting Black Cat. They were flirting. You had him call her his girlfriend. She called him her boyfriend. But she's kind of like, Richard, I need you back here right now. I need your help. And so, of course, when you do have Richard arrive, he does find Felicia, but he also finds the Kingpin. So just like that, the Kingpin had made his move. He now officially has Richard for himself. He's now a prisoner to use against Peter Parker and also Harry Osborn. And so that is technically the end of this storyline. But the question is now, where could the story possibly go? Because we only have a few chapters left if the rumors are true that all the different Ultimate books are going to end at issue number 24. But either way, this is where we're going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.